rising for the overall energy, checking for February 2026. We're going to look at water signs. I can go in any order I want. It's my channel. I've already done fire. Be sure to check your birth chart to see what your other placements are to get the most accurate picture of what could be coming up for you all. If anything does not resonate, leave it behind for those it does resonate with, and take what fits. As always, a personal reading is going to be the best way to get the most accurate for you details. All that's in the description box, including my other platforms, how to get a hold of me for booking those personal private readings as well as mentorships. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell. I have been back. I've done a couple of live streams. If you are my OGs, y'all have seen this. Y'all have caught me live. I am starting back on posting my videos. I got my new setup here. You'll notice I'm not in the RV anymore. Without further delay, let's get started. Okay, water signs. This is going to be for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Timestamps are in the comments section, pinned to the top there for you all. I'm going to be looking at Cancers first. What fell out? Nine of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy. That pre-Empress energy coming out. Let's look at Cancers first. Cancers. My lovely water signs for the month of February. What's that U position? We've got the Sun card. Nine of Pentacles is that overall. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress, right? So Lumen Moon, Gina from Tarot Baby, they both say this. Tarot Baby, Gina got it from Lumen Moon, where this is that acquired wealth, education, status in life. And this is by your own making. Now you wait for that last pentacle for the completion of everything, but it's something that is going to be very selective. You can take your sweet time in waiting for just the right pentacle to have that 10 of Pentacles for the completion. Sun card. Sun card is happiness. This is joy, contentment. This is healing energy. This is living in your truth. This is finally seeing very clearly a divine path forward to see things starting to really take hold for self-love. Think of the Empress. That is about nurturing, love, care, growth, evolution, right? So we have this grand plan and you feel very happy about this, solid, secure. What crosses or complements you? We've got the Nine of Swords, pair of nines out here. Nine of Swords, stress, anxiety, possibly sleepless nights. You could be on a different sleep schedule here for some of you. This could be what is crossing you. Could be a little bit worried about obtaining this. How long is this going to take? Do you really have what it takes to get to what you have your eyes set on? Right? You may be thinking, oh, I want to go into the medical field, and you've never looked at school a day in your life, and it's been many, many years, you know, and you're thinking of starting on this brand new journey. Well, you're looking at a lot of work ahead of you. The Nine of Swords says, okay, do I have what it takes to get through what I'm signing myself up for? Swords are about intrusive thoughts. This is about information that you may not have known about that could possibly be interrupting your peace of mind. Okay, so this is what's crossing you right now. What is the best that can be achieved? We've got the Ace of Swords. There's that clarity. There's this information that seems to come easily to you. This is living in your truth again. That keeps coming up here. I feel like you're being really honest with yourself about what you can do, what you can't do. I feel like a lot of you are finally starting to speak very clearly about what it is that you're expecting out of life. I feel like some of you are finally having a really clear vision of what your future is going to look like. With that Ace of Swords coming out, what is the foundation? We've got the Knight of Swords. Look at all these swords. Pair of horses out here too. I can't help but think of the work ethic of a horse. Think about how consistent they are, about how easily also they get spooked, right? This is a prey animal. This is somebody who needs to have a lot of information, a lot of, positivity kind of going their way so that they can stay the course. I almost feel like this Nine of Swords is bringing this energy of potentially, this underlying fear that might just be below the surface, and on the outside, right, you're rosy and happy and excited. This Knight of Swords is a very active, very spontaneous, very present energy that is kind of as big and bold as life. Look at this presence here on that Knight of Swords. This is very fast moving energy. I feel like things might be feeling like you need to get going. This might be what this angst is right here, with this anxiousness about needing to get going so that you can start to look at these rewards. I feel like you've got a good solid plan and you're ready to start, executing the path forward. What's that immediate past? Seven of Cups. That is confusion, misdirection, being misled, feeling a little confused about what it is you need to do. This is a great reading, Cancer. This looks like you are, kind of turning things around for the positive. I feel like you finally got some clarity. Some of you might be a little bit nervous about finally seeing something for what it is. This is about a lot of truth and honesty. And now you have to act fast. I feel like there's a small window to get something done for some of you, Cancer. That message is coming out. If this doesn't have to do with a path and a direction forward, if it's not as simple as, reinventing yourself or finally figuring out who you are or where you're going in life, and, just about what steps it's going to take to start initiating that plan. It feels here like you're miles away from where you were, but you still have a touch of this confusion. This confusion is what might feed anxiety and fear. This might be what we are confusing for fear in our current state. There might be a little bit of this residual confusion left over that might be clouding your judgment here, your way forward. What's your immediate future? Good old Judgment, clouding your judgment. Look at that. I called the Judgment card. Kids, I've been so attuned. I can't tell you how tapped in my intuition has been. I've been seeing numbers. I think it and it happens. This was a big calling for me to get my butt back online because I have missed you all. You guys need this message. There's a judgment here. There's a big decision. I feel like this is you finally starting to make some life-changing decisions here with the Judgment card coming out. You start to notice some really big moments happening for you once you get your butt in gear. Once you get your butt in gear, but you gotta get over this fear. Uh-oh, here she goes again. Bottom of the deck, Two of Wands. Which path? Yes, Ten of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the World card, the World, the Page of Swords. You've got Page of Pentacles. There's a lot riding on this. I feel like you have, this direction that you need to go in, but there's a lot of balance that needs to happen here. It's not like you just have the freedom to explore whatever you want to do here. You also have to, figure out how to transition away from what you were. The Ten of Swords is about abandoning something that you've already invested in. This is about, a path you've already gone down and decided maybe this isn't for me, maybe I should be doing something different. And it's as if this moment of clarity has struck you and you have decided, okay, this is it, this is what I want to do. And now you have the Six of Pentacles, you've got these two wands. This is figuring out how to balance myself while I redirect my focus. We've got 10 swords over here. That 10 swords is betrayal. This is an ending to something. It's not a very dramatic ending. I can't help but notice the sun in the background. Look at the sun back here in the background on this card. It's off in the horizon. These swords, you've got 9 swords, you've got 1 sword. Here you've got 10 swords. You have to complete this path you've been on in order to get to where you're going. We can't have it all, unfortunately. Try as we might, yes. We've got the World card. You've got it all. This is the world on your shoulders. This is the world beckoning you off into your new directions here. We've got the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. This is a new path. This is new learning. This is a new decision. This is seeking information, goal setting, new plans coming into fruition here. This is about taking action in a new direction. I love it. I claim. Here's your High Priestess. And I say your High Priestess because that is our intuitive selves coming full present moment here. Let's see. Let's get some clarity. Let us clarify the cards on the table. We're going to look at all of them. We'll look at the Sun card, 9 of Swords, Ace of Swords, Knight of Swords, 7 of Cups, and the Judgment card. One more shuffle. There she is again, our High Priestess. Tell me about the Sun card. I knew I was going to pull the Sun card. I knew it. Sun card, Sun card. So exciting. Look at the moon just hanging out of there too. Exciting, but you know, is it excitement? Is it nerves? Is this, you know, should I, shouldn't I? Is this the right path? What lies ahead? You have no idea. You're just at the beginning. Oh my goodness. I knew I was going to pull the Sun card. There's the 7 of Pentacles. This is planting those seeds, and the work begins day and night. Night and day. Keeping the path, keeping the plan, keeping the forward momentum. Tell me about that 9 of Swords. Ten of Wands. Yeah. It's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. There's the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. Look at the reward at the other side. There's those 6 Pentacles again with 6 Wands, Wheel of Fortune. You know, look at all the grief you would need to overcome in order to get to where you're going. Because at the other side of this is a lot of, you know, there's something different there. And I feel like the universe has been calling you. This is a pull in a different direction. You've been feeling uncomfortable. You've been feeling lost. You've been feeling like you're at your wit's end. You feel like this is not it. You feel like you've invested in something that needs to, you know, be completed so that you can continue to live in your divine truth, so that you can live in your joy, so that you can really feel fulfilled. Look at that 4 cups popping out. You're tired of being bored. You're tired of being discontented, annoyed, underwhelmed. Ace of Swords. Tell me about the Ace of Swords, please. 9 of Wands. A third 9. This 9 of Wands has you guarded, of course. This is, you know, resilience. You're ready. You can do it. You've done all this work before. You're not a stranger to hard work or what it takes. It's just, you know, the thought of it might be a little bit exhausting. Everything you're needing to do. And there's a lot to learn here. with the Hierophant. There's a lot. It's like reinventing yourself with completely brand new knowledge that you have never thought of. This is reconforming your brain. The Hierophant. The Hierophant's about conformity of, life-changing scale. So this is about reconforming your brain to do something completely different. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. Eight of Cups. Again, a little bit of angst. The moon has come out here one more time. This is about going with that flow. Okay, that Four of Cups just wants to be out here because you need to. Look at all of the emotion here. Underwhelmed, discontented. This Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, Four of Cups, Eight of Cups, the Moon card, and this sun poking out behind all of it. Like, underneath it all, there's got to be something better than, than this provincial life. There must be more than this provincial life. Now, you all have an earworm from Beauty and the Beast. You're welcome. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. The World card. Again. The World. No big deal. It's just everything ever. This World card, another meaning of this is the completion of everything in that cycle. This is the end of the major arcana cycle. This is the end of the Fool's journey. I feel like you've kind of exhausted yourself here with that Seven of Cups clarified by the World. You're kind of done. You're over it. It's time for something new. As I said in the beginning of the reading, this ain't it. Okay, tell me about the Judgment. The Empress, that pre-Empress, there's the Empress. Again, I was talking about her in the beginning of the reading. Here's the Hermit, Page of Swords, hunkering down, Ten of Cups, Devil, Lovers. So this is, look at the Devil and the Lovers. This is two sides of the same coin here. This is the choice, the decision, everything you're being tempted by, the idea that you cannot get out of your head, and the choice that is behind it. There's a lot of research that I think you're starting to do. I feel like a lot of you, look at the Fool sitting behind the Knight of Cups. You guys are pretty excited about this potential for something new, this new path, this new adventure. This feels like a new adventure. Angels and Airwaves, new adventure. Look it up. I love Angels and Airwaves. This nudity. Okay, there we go. Get the Hermit to hide all that. All right, let's see here. I do feel like there's a lot of thinking that you guys are doing. I feel like this might be what's weighing heavily in your mind. Don't overthink it. Start to do some action. Start to do some action towards what has been, pressing on your mind. If you're finding that it's an easy path, if you're finding that the doors are just opening up, then this must be meant for you. If you're finding that there's a little bit of resistance, maybe you need to do a little bit more research to see if there's some sort of parallel direction. You might be a little bit off. Maybe there's something that you can do, maybe another reading to dive a little bit deeper and to get some clarity, what have you. Okay. If there is resistance, then that is not for you. Don't go banging and beating doors down because there is some sort of redirection that you're not getting. All right, let's go ahead and clean this all up and then we'll look at some oracle. Okay, my lovelies, let us get some of this. Future higher self. Future higher self. What do you need to know? You have so much to offer the world. Don't ever doubt your contribution. Yes. Spirit is calling. You have so much to offer. That nagging feeling, that sleepless night, that inability to get, to not get this thought out of your head, I don't think it's going to go away until you start to feed the beast. You got to get in there. More Beauty and the Beast reference. You got to get in there and start to nurture this hankering to see if anything comes from it. To see if there is something divine on the other side of that feeling. See the good in what you call bad. Nothing in your suffering is meaningless. Nothing in your suffering is meaningless. This is not meant to have you crash out or to send you over the edge or to mess with you. Your angels, your guides, do you think that they want to mess with you or to see if you'll pass the test. They want you to tune in and to be so divinely moved, to start to go with the urges, the feelings, to see that divine path open up and to start to answer the calls and go through those open doors, right? They want that to happen. If there is some sort of a redirection, we cannot focus on what our ego thought was supposed to happen. You have to look at all of your trials, your tribulations, your experience as a part of the lesson, a part of the path, a part of the knowledge, a part of the wisdom. This is part of the discovery process about discovering what isn't and what should be, what didn't work, what you should try next. Remember, the only failure out there is the inability to try again. You're stepping into a brand new chapter at the bottom of the deck. Something new awaits. The story is not over. The book of you carries on. We need to be focusing on what's coming in. What's that next moment coming up? What's just past the horizon? Okay. What are some possible financial blocks? Possible financial blocks for Cancer. Ignoring the little details could be one block. So using the small stuff to your advantage while everyone else is ignoring the small details, right? The little things matter. People notice that, believe it or not. If you're just trying to hurry up and get to the end of the product, it's going to look and feel rushed. People can tell. This is the small stuff, the hidden, the extra steps. That's what will separate you from everyone else who is trying to hurry up and slap stuff together and just get the product out, right? This attention to details, that's what matters. That's what sets you apart from the rest of the pack. Being too hard on yourself, being your own worst critic. I am a Cancer, I do this. Of course, I have a lot of Virgo in my chart as well. If you know, you know. You are a winner. Give yourself credit for how far you've come, and you don't need to lower your bar, but you do need to be able to see all of your small wins. Even if you didn't get the big prize, you acquired knowledge, you acquired experience, you learned a lot about yourself, right? Every little moment is a win. You gain something that, you can add to your resume, your repertoire, whatever it is. Waiting to be saved could be a block for you. You could be sitting back kind of waiting for somebody to come in and fulfill those blank spots whenever you could go out and take care of it yourself much, much faster. Be your own savior. Believe in who you are and realize that you are more powerful than you know. Dare to go after what you want and be your own savior. We're a lot more capable than we give ourselves credit for. Again, you don't know until you try. But that's about starting to go out, knock on doors, opening doors, get in that hallway so the other doors are there so you can start knocking on those doors, see what happens. Another possibility is a blocked solar chakra. That was that sun card that kept coming out over and over again in your reading. A couple of times here, Cancer. To unblock that solar chakra, go outside, get the energy of the sun. I know we've been covered up here in the States anyway by a lot of ice here in February. The end of January, beginning of February. Recharge your yellow chakra. Get as much sunlight as you can. If you are not able to get outside, for some of you up north, those iron pipes go deep into the ground. If you can get your hands on it, on those iron pipes, that will ground you as well until the sun can come out and melt that stuff away so you can get outside and touch a real nature. So crystals, those will help boost your confidence, your optimism, and your well-being. Conflicting desires could be a block for some of you. You could have one desire canceling out another. You may not be able to do it all. That could be the root of a lot of your confusion, is that you have too many possibilities. You have your net cast way too wide. Y'all need to hone it in a little bit and get yourself more focused. Focus on just one thing. Remember that 9 of Swords was out there. We have that Ace of Swords. With that being the reason for the reading, get it narrowed down. Those 2 wands that were out there, this path or that path, getting it narrowed down. Start to do pro-cons lists. That Four of Cups is about doing pros and cons, really starting to hone it in and narrow it down. It could be as simple as flipping a coin for some of you. The experience sometimes is worth its weight in gold. Let's get a couple of love oracles for you, Cancer, just in case you need it. We'll be doing separate love readings for you all as well. Let's see, what does Cancer need to know? We've got music, unexpected, and an apology. Someone that you shared music with, that you have a musical bond with, there is an unexpected apology coming forward for some of you. Goodness. There's a possibility for that. I mean, it's over and reunion here. I wouldn't say that you guys are open to getting back together, but this could be as simple as getting some closure. Closure could be coming through music for some of you. Take that as it resonates. Very interesting. And lastly, let's look at some karma to close out Cancer for February. What's the karma card? What's the karma card? All right, gaslight. You remember what they tried to make you forget. Cancers know a lot of details. You guys remember a lot of things. You guys pay attention to a lot of things. People tend to take advantage of your kindness and mistake it for weakness, and they tend to try to manipulate you here. Don't let people get over on you like that. People will always try to take advantage. You were the mirror, not the threat at the bottom here. You were the mirror. You were just mirroring the action back to them. They didn't like it. This is why they tried to flip the script on you here, tried to change the narrative for some of you. Do not let them get the best of you. You know what's happening. Keep your snap, babes. Okay, Cancer. That is all we have for you for February. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you need a personal reading, everything's in the description box of this video. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Again, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you be sure to catch me live. Check my other platforms for going live there as well. Here's my coworker. Okay, buddy, I know, he's so bad. Okay, here we go, Scorpio. We're going to look at Scorpios for February, Scorpios. Alrighty. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, February 2026. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Cross watchers, of course, are welcome. Switch that energy around as needed. Be sure to check your other placements. If anything does not resonate or fit, throw it out, leave it for the rest. Take what does resonate and check those other placements. What does Scorpio need to know for February? This deck looks pretty on this tapestry, doesn't it? I like my new tapestry. It matches my curtains. I'm going to do a cap cut and show you all my new setup. It's lovely. The U position, Scorpio. Seven of Cups. Everybody is confused. Yesterday, Seven of Wands. That is so fascinating. I did fire signs. Everybody got Seven of Wands. Today, water signs are getting 7 cups. This is interesting. I wonder if everybody's going to get their element. So, I feel like there is confusion. Some of you could be lost in the clouds a little bit as far as having a lot of options, a lot of choices. There could be a lot of attention on you right now. You could be, living the dream here, having a lot of choices and a lot of options. It's a little overwhelming. Let's look at what crosses or complements you. The Moon card. That is very confusing, my darlings. Pisces energy showing up to your reading here, Scorpio. So this is about needing to have that intuitive connection in order to power through your confusion here. You're a very intuitive sign. All water signs are very, very tapped into their intuition. This is beckoning for that power that you have to kind of push through the fantasy a little bit, to really connect your subconscious to your consciousness in order to have the clarity here, in order to have your best judgment. What is the best that can be achieved. The Hierophant. Well, this is your moral compass intact. This is about staying true to what you believe, what you know, the foundation of your moral integrity here. This is about having that be your barometer in the midst of all this confusion. Some of you could just be out there dating, you know, you could just be having a lot of people coming at you right now, and I think you're having to use that. This could be as, you know, as simple as your upbringing, you know, your meemaw, your papa, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, you know, dragging you to church every single Sunday and having the preacher, you know, banging in your head, excuse my terminology there, about what's right and what's not. I think some of you might be tuning into that to help you navigate some of this confusion here. Your intuition is also being asked to assist here as well. I think you know deep down what's the right thing to do, what's the foundation. Six of Pentacles, that's fair and balanced, isn't it? That's about being very balanced. What's good for you, what's good for them, what's really going to make the most sense, what you're really going to be able to provide with what you have, as well as receive the fulfillment of what you're asking. That's about being very logically balanced here, using some logic to help you navigate through some of that confusion. What's your immediate past, Scorpio? Queen of Pentacles. Okay, that's a very grounded, supportive energy. I feel like this is probably why you get a lot of the attention here, Scorpio, with that Queen of Pentacles. This is providing a safe space for a lot of people to come to you, to feel very protected, to feel very guided with your logic, with your ability to kind of look at things with a no nonsense sort of approach with that Queen of Pentacles coming out. So this may have overwhelmed you. This may have brought on more energy than you could be used to or comfortable with here, as far as the Moon card being something that crosses you. And then again, we've got two major arcana cards out here. What's your immediate future, Scorpio? Four of Swords. You're doing that thing you do where you kind of pull back and focus on yourself. Your peace of mind is paramount, and nobody, no matter how much, is going to talk you out of that. Swords are about communication, information, but this is a very peaceful energy, right? Look at her. She's in the esthetician's office getting a facial, having a spa treatment. She's not hyper fixated on anything. She's just relaxing. It's there. It'll come to me as I am taking care of what I need to take care of. This is ultimate peace of mind. You know, I have a card that says peace is radical acceptance, which means accepting all things for as they are. This could be the way that you are finding your peace of mind through all of this, is that, you know, well, some of you with that Four of Swords, this is about you not giving this any attention. This is choosing peace of mind, choosing to rest instead of deal with anything. I feel like a lot of you are just going at a very slow pace here. This feels like a very slow pace. But the Swords, you know, these Pentacles, that's naturally slow. The Swords, that's intentionally slow. That's with intention and purpose. That is thought out. That's somebody making that well thought out plan. I'm not going to do anything about anything. I'm just going to pull back. Sometimes the best approach to handle a lot of confusion or misinformation or being unclear is to do absolutely nothing. Sometimes the best answer is to do absolutely nothing. My dog says hello. Look at the Knight of Swords, the Judgment, the Devil, Knight of Cups, Two of Swords. So, you know that the need to make a decision is not going anywhere. The desire for you to ultimately decide one way or another what's going to happen is not going anywhere. So I think while the focus is on you, you might be taking advantage of that a little bit and requesting some time, some peace of mind, so that you can have the space that you need to make the decision that best suits you, that makes the most sense, that seems the most logical. Unfortunately, for others around you, they're not really going to be a part of that decision making process. You know how Scorpio is. They're going to make this decision, and then they will decide to include you in as far as what your role will be, as helping them carry this out. So, goodness. Let's see here. Let's get some clarifiers. Hello, Rebel. It's noisy. We'll get some clarifiers. Clarifying. Seven of Cups. The Moon. Hierophant. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. And the Four of Swords. Seven of Cups, please. We've got the Nine of Cups. This is very independent. Very, very independent. Is this the moon? Oh, it's the full. I saw a little dog in the corner. The Fool's journey is out here. I almost feel like this is a big decision. It's going to take a lot out of you. Again, we've got more major arcana coming out. It feels like this is going to require a lot of you on the other side of this decision, as deep as your thought process is going here. We've got the Nine of Cups coming out. This could be about, it's almost like you asked for this. That's about, saying, okay, well, I'm going to put myself out there and see what happens. Let's see what the dating world churns up. And then now you've been inundated. You're overwhelmed. Okay, well, you got what you asked for, but, that's that whole thing. Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. And now you're feeling the pressure a little bit. It feels like this is going to take a lot from you. This is going to be a whole new ball game that you're getting yourself into with the Fool card coming out. Tell me about the Moon. King of Wands. Yep, that's a big decision. This is that big, broad picture way down the road. You've got a lot of insight happening here as far as what this decision's going to require, what it's going to require of you, what this is going to look like. This is you getting, in your head a little bit as far as looking at that big down the road view of what this will, require of you, what this is going to take. Here's the Ten of Cups out here. I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to not have to go through anything like this again. The Ten of Cups is about that's the end. That's the emotional fulfillment, right? This is almost like, if I'm going to make a decision to go all in with somebody, I don't want to have to do this again. I don't want to have to go through this again. I feel like, I kind of feel like this is, I'm done dating. The next thing I get into and invest myself in is going to be forever after. So until then, I need to be darn sure that it's worth the investment. Okay, tell me about the Hierophant. Because the Hierophant is, that's conformity. That's the big deal. Five of Swords. Page of Swords. This is a lot of conflicting information. A lot of conflicting information. This could be, your friends telling you stuff. This could be your family telling you stuff. This is everything you've ever known. This is, that patriarchal knowledge and wisdom that we're given since the beginning of time. There's a lot to that. I think your mind is kind of not your friend with the Five of Swords, the Page of Swords. This is also about, maybe asking others for their information and getting a lot of conflicting information here. You're no nearer making a decision because of the information you have sought. Consider the source, right? Tell me about the Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. This is a new investment. All the cards on the table here. Two Pentacles on the bottom. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. This is weighing that decision. This is balance. This is balance. This is pouring your heart into something. This is that new beginning of an emotional investment. Tell me about that Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Ace of Wands. Four of Wands. Strength card. There's a lot of power here. I feel like you naturally draw energy in. Scorpio does that. They are naturally magnetic. You've heard this your entire life. A lot of Scorpios kind of bask in that ability. Many of them take advantage of that and hurt people with it. All right, tell me about the Four of Swords. Maybe you've been told this and you're trying to be more careful this time if you are one of the healed and evolved Scorpios. Four of Swords. Seven of Swords. So that's a strategy for peace. Queen of Swords. Yeah. I think your best option here for yourself for February, I think you're kind of putting a lot of distance up. You're keeping yourself at arm's length so that you can make this decision. You know that this is going to be an emotional decision, so you're being logical about it. Does that make sense? This is going to be a very emotional investment. So you are doing this in a very logical way. It's logical for you. It's logical based on your experience. It's you taking your time to do all the research you need here to make the best decision moving forward. Be wary of that with whom you are dealing with as well. So if you have a lot of options and a lot of choices, maybe there's a lot of ways you could, word this. Maybe you're being very careful about how you, solidify. I've been watching a lot of Big Bang Theory. Your relationship agreement. What are we? How does this look? What are the terms? How are we going to go forward? I mean, it's not sexy, but that will come later after we decide how to proceed forward. Okay, let's clear this up and then we will pull some oracle. All right, Scorpios. Let us get, this is clarifying love situation cards. Clarifying love situation. What does Scorpio need to know? Clarifying love situation. Online. Could I met this person online? We've got heartbreak and running. At home cleanup. Okay. So, you could have gone online before, had heartbreak. Now you could be running from those types of connections. You could be trying to reinvent, how you approach getting into relationships and connections. Pain is essential for growth. This is resisting change right now. That's running away. This is resisting all change. You've got a lot of boundaries up here. You're not really interested in going through heartbreak again. So I think you guys have put these boundaries up so that you can be very careful about these next steps. Again, a lot of you have, dealt with this person, and this is somebody that you have indeed met online at home. You didn't meet this person going out, you were at home and met them online. All right. Very good. Let's look at, I'm going to look at some of this. What are some details? What are some details about this person? World traveled, travel bug. This person has been around the world. They get around. Let's see, they're their corporate type. They work a lot. If they don't, you know, have a regular 9 to 5 job, they work a lot. Very refined, very goal, money driven. Well, Capricorn, that makes a lot of sense, right? They could be Capricorn or have Capricorn placements. What else came out? Leo placements as well. I know a lot of Leos, they're very money focused as well. We've got self-absorbed also coming out. So this person, you know, they're very goal driven also. You could be set up on a blind date with them. This could be somebody that's, you know, this is not for everybody. This could be for some of you. What's here? Ah, there you are, Scorpio. They could also have Scorpio placements as well. We've got red hair coming out. May have red in their hair. You meet at a party. You may meet them set up on a blind date at a party. Mama's boy or a daddy's girl. Okay, so they have a really close bond with one of their parents. Recently single, so give this time to develop. So they may need a little bit more time than, you know, you're considering. They might be younger than you. This person could be significantly or a couple years younger than you, but they are not your age, they're not older than you. Got Sagittarius placements also coming out for some of you. You meet while running errands. Okay, some of you may meet this person while you're out running around. We've got Taurus also coming out. And they're still unsure of their path in life. A bit lost, so they're not quite sure where they're headed. Don't know what's the end goal here. They could be kind of stumbling through life, taking, you know, whatever job they can get to kind of figure it out. Might be straight edge, never or hardly ever indulges. Could be, you know, drugs, alcohol, what have you, but they are straight edge. They don't do that. Never or hardly ever do that. They like to shop a little bit more than they like to get, you know, under the influence. They're not the type of person who spends their money that way. They spend it like this. They're more materialistic. Got somebody who is conservative, more traditional, probably not big on PDA is my guess there. If they're more conservative, maybe they don't, you know, like to show a lot of skin. They don't like to put themselves out there a whole lot. Okay. Let's see, let's get a couple of money. All right, money matters. What do you need to know about money matters? What the Scorpio needs to be made aware of as far as finances go. Okay, money matters. All right. You've got you in between, so you're almost there. I feel like many of you are trying to figure out a new way to invest your money. Some of you could be looking at savings, cutting costs, working on your budget, but you're really focusing on things. I think you're right in between of what you used to be and where you're headed. I think you're starting to see some accumulation happen. We've got ascension at the bottom here. So your power is increasing. You've got a flashback to where you've been, and you're trying to get far away from that and do things differently. I feel like you're finally succeeding and growing and evolving and doing things differently than what you used to do. All right, one last look here. Your future higher self would like to tell you rejection is for your protection. This is divine redirection to something that is meant for you. Your divine path is not meant to put you in an energy of struggling or resistance or frustration. This is meant to redirect you to something that is meant for you. You will be blessed more than you can ever imagine. Our imagination actually is quite limited. We can only imagine for what we've experienced or what we have seen. It is very limited. We have to release ourselves from that and just lean into our blessings. Go with the flow. Start to lean into your path, and everything else will fall into place as a result of that. Let's see here. Don't take action when there's a feeling of resistance. Exactly. I've been saying that a lot tonight. This afternoon, this morning. I've been saying that a lot. Don't take action where there's a feeling of resistance. This is a redirection. All right, Scorpios. That was your reading for the month of February. Thank you all so much for tuning in, playing along. All of your likes, subscribes, that notification bell alerts you every time I'm energetically called to bring you a reading or to go live. Also, if you need a personal private reading, all that is going to be in the description box of this video, including how to look up those other placements. If anything does not resonate, leave it behind. Be sure to check those other readings so that you can get the most accurate picture of what could be happening for you. And I will see y'all soon with more readings. Thanks again. I've missed y'all. All right, moving to Pisces. Pisces, final water sign reading. Let's look at Pisces. February, Pisces. Here we go. What does Pisces need to know? Again, be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's see here. What does Pisces need to know? Uh-oh, got the Tower card. Oh my goodness. Not my Pisces. Not my babies. Okay, let's see here. Pisces, that you position. We've got the Hanged Man. That is Neptune energy coming out there. So this is the transitionary period from what was. I almost feel like you guys might be hanging on a little bit. There could be some resistance, so Spirit might have stepped in and pushed it along a little bit for you. What crosses or complements you? 9 of Cups. This is ultimately going to be for your greatest and highest good. Once you can start to look at this in a different perspective, this will ultimately be for your greatest and highest good, Pisces. What is... Okay, 8 of Pentacles. This is the best that could be achieved. This is refocusing, recentering yourself, getting yourself organized. This is getting yourself turned around. This is increasing things. This is learning something. This is getting better. This is improving things, getting more organized. That definitely looks better. What is the foundation, the reason for the reading? We've got that Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, things need to spin in a different direction. A lot of times this is our ego here with that Hanged Man for something that we just could not see any other way away from. So this Tower card is over here making sure that we just kind of go with the flow and stop resisting. Stop trying to hang on to something that just needs to be let go of. Right? That Wheel of Fortune is the karmic cycle. These are karmic lessons that need to be learned. What's your immediate past? Okay, we'll pick up 2 cards. Magician, 2 of Wands. So there was this pull in a new direction. I feel like a lot of you have subconsciously created this. I feel like a lot of you have learned many things from this. Some of you have deeply empowered yourself through this journey. And there's been this immediate moment of trying to push you in a different direction so that you can take everything that you've empowered yourself with and go and do better with your life. Go and improve yourself. Go and improve the lives of others, even more so than just self. What's your immediate future? The Star card. So this is about taking those lessons and doing better with your life. If you're taking all of everything that you've learned, this is a learning experience for you. This is about empowering yourself and improving yourself. Many of you, if you take this with the intention that universe is wanting you to experience, the goals on the other side are going to be more than you could have ever imagined. We just closed the Pisces reading with that. You will be blessed with more than you could ever imagine. These are many blessings. These are all your wishes and dreams coming true. If you can look at this in the perspective that you are being pushed to. You're being pushed to a metamorphosis, a redirection of self. Let's see here. Bottom of the deck, Five of Wands. Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, King of Wands, Six of Pentacles. So this is resistance. This is resistance for this new direction, for this plan that's been kind of set into motion already. This plan's already in motion. I feel like you kind of hanging around waiting for a sign, waiting for, the finality of everything, waiting for them to release you from your hold here, waiting for giving somebody else your power. I think the realization is coming in here with that connectivity of Spirit saying, I'm going to help you see this. I'm going to help you see that you are stronger than you think you are. And once you get going on this new direction and new path, the empowerment on the other side and the healing that you will use to your betterment is going to be so much more than you could have ever imagined. Okay. Let us clarify. Clarify here. Clarifying the Hangman, Nine of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, okay. The Knight of Swords, reversed. This Knight of Swords reversing is a disregard for the consequences that are coming from hanging about and waiting for somebody else to make decisions for you. This is kind of a disregard for the well-being of self. This is you not really having much direction here, so you're kind of waiting for clarity to come from an outside source with that Knight of Swords reversed here. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. Seven of Wands. Being very defensive about it too. This is a lot of defensiveness. Almost putting up some kind of a fight. I feel like this Five of Wands might be you kind of putting up a little bit of a conflicting message to what's happening energetically around you. The Seven of Wands is being very defensive, very guarded. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Two of Cups. Seven of Cups. Two of Cups. The World card has come out here. This decision, this choice, this decision, this partnership, this connection, this bond, I almost feel like the confusion is coming in. This is emotional confusion. Again, every single water sign has pulled the Seven of Cups. Cancer pulled it, Scorpio pulled it, and now you, Pisces. My fire signs, they were pulling all the Seven of Wands. Now we have emotional confusion. It's causing you to be very defensive and very guarded. There's something here that says, everything that has been learned has been learned. The cycle is complete. This has been completely done. This is successfully closing this cycle out. This Two of Cups is coming out here to reiterate the partnership, the friendship, the connection, the decision, that emotional choice that you had to make that is completed. The confusion here is about, not learning that this is the end. That's an important part of a phase, is learning when something is done, learning when something is over and finished. A lot of times we never know, and we kind of wait for the finality, to be crystal clear, or to, kind of hit us over the head. which is what that Seven of Wands is. That's that kind of hitting you over the head energy there. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is this hope that something is going to just kind of make sense and flow out for you. Just kind of come and be this no-brainer. I think this is your emotional self pulling you in this direction to go ahead and complete the cycle. We've got an opportunity back here. Look at that, the Three of Wands, to see what's coming in next. What could be next. We got 5 Cups, 5 Wands. Yep, okay. Tell me about the Two of Wands. And the Magician that have come out. Tell me about the Two of Wands. King of Pentacles. Two of Swords. This is pretty stubborn energy about being indecisive. I feel like this is a common consistency for you. You've always kind of waited for the decision to be made for you. I felt like you've had a lot of success with that so far. I feel like universe is pushing you to make the decision this time. The Hanged Man is requesting that you kind of free yourself from the burden of allowing other people to help you with your decisions. I feel like you need to ultimately be the one to make your own decision here. Okay. Tell me about the Star card. King of Cups reversed. So there's a lot of emotions here that are misguided. I feel like there's a lot of imbalance as far as what your head and your heart are telling you to do. There's a big opportunity here for healing, for you to really kind of cross over this new way of being. There's 2 different ways about going in this spiritually, being shoved into your healing. One is the Tower card, the other one is the Death card. These are ways that Spirit shoves you into your healing. If you're the one resisting, if you're kind of sitting around and hanging around and waiting for the moment to kind of make itself obvious and clear, to hit you over the head, or for somebody to make the decision for you, or to put you there so that now you have no choice but to kind of go with the flow. This is one way Spirit does it for you, and the Death card is the other. When the Tower card comes out, it's a little more chaotic. This is not so finite. This still leaves a little bit of room for you to kind of say, well, it's still rebuildable. It doesn't matter if this whole storm came along and knocked it down to the studs and it's just barely on any kind of foundation that needs work on its own, path to repairing, and before you can even build anything on it, let alone anything that will sustain the next storm that comes through. I mean, that's a lot of work. And I feel like you're still in this energy of, well, let's see what the damage is, and then we'll decide. When this feels like the insurance would come through, when they total out, yeah, it's totaled. It's completely totaled. They're going to give you full value, and that's it. Done deal. Closing the book on it once and for all. Yet you might still be kind of waiting. I think there's this opportunity that may not come, and I think ultimately you're delaying the inevitable here with that Hanged Man sitting out there. That's a lot of delaying of the inevitability, which is not doing you any favors. This is not doing you any favors at all. This is very misguided here. Okay, let's clear all this up and then we'll get some oracle. All right, it's Pisces. Pisces. You like how I did everything out of order so you didn't have to wait until the end? You're welcome, because I do what I want. Let's see. I want to look at something. This is the Love Me Not deck. Love me not. Let's see what needs to be said here. often wonder if you feel the same way. So there's still some confusion here. I'm not looking for anything real right now. This is inauthentic. What else does Pisces need to know? If they're dealing with somebody, what else? Take it. You're the person I want to do life with. You're my person. I think we have a pretty unique connection. That's way too many. Let's go here. I recognize the potential between us, but I also harbor some uncertainties. So there is some confusion here. I mean, there's some deep feelings, but I feel like there needs to be some healing, some growth, maybe a little bit of distance to appreciate what is had. Maybe so that they really truly understand, you know, the benefit of you, the special. I recognize how special and unique you are. See, that's the recognizing the uniquity of what you are, who you are, how special and genuine your love is. We are definitely not on the same page. Yep. So I do feel like there's a lot of love, but there is an obvious disconnection as far as the investment of feelings, maybe appreciation for the connection. Maybe that's why this is very misleading. It feels like you're unable to make a defining decision because of how up and down things are, how confusing somebody is being here. I'm always excited to talk to you, talk about you to my friends. And I'm not the person you make me out to be in your mind. I mean, you know, this could be somebody who is in love with the idea of being in love, but when it comes down to doing the work, they seem to have a lot of confusion about, you know, what needs to happen here. And many times the answer's inside. It's not outside of you. The answer isn't in the other person. The answer is inside. And until we recognize that, we're going to continue to confuse any situation by trying to title and label situations for what they aren't. You know, this is your fault. This is what you did. You made me feel. You brought this out, when in fact that is a trigger inside of you that needs to be healed in order for that to not happen no matter what. You can have control over that, because that's what the only thing we have control over is how we think, feel, and react. Everything else is just an occurrence. Right. Okay, let's see if anything else pops up. This is my handmade special deck. Let's see if anything else comes out for this person. Alright, I'm barely keeping it together. I'm embarrassed that you caught me. And we've got money issues, bad credit, debt, no credit. Somebody could be acting childish or petty. That doesn't help anything. And yeah, you caught them. I'm embarrassed that you caught me, and you caught them lying. Something about them lying here, and they're barely keeping it together. And they could be, you know, maybe projecting a lot of things. Could be, you know, making it seem like it's money issues when they're just trying to escape the real accountability of what the deep issues are here. Okay. What else? Anything else? A couple more things. Yeah, we got some jealousy issues. A lot of times people, yeah, when they're shady and sneaky, they will project and say, you're the issue. They could be causing jealousy issues because they're being shady and sneaky, childish and petty, selfish, you know. I need to heal from this connection. We've got a fake and a phony. This is somebody who lies, you know. We need to get to the bottom of that. What are the lies for? I know I should apologize, but I'm too proud. Okay, they need to get over that. That is, you know, a killer of all relationships. It's ego and pride. That's the quickest way to end the relationship. Alright. I feel like y'all need a little bit more. I'm going to pull a karmic card for you all. Misery loves company, but you send your regrets. Yeah, you're not playing that low vibration, that poor me, oh woe is us, everything sucks. You're not going there. I think you're kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired feeling, you know? Peace isn't passive. Protecting your calm doesn't mean that you're avoiding the truth. You're not avoiding anything by staying peaceful. Peaceful is for your own sanity. Choosing to not connect to somebody's delusions is your own empowerment. That's a way of giving yourself peace of mind, not attaching to other people's craziness or their ups and downs or their need for dramatics. Some people get addicted to that crap. Okay, let's see if you have any money blocks real quick, Pisces, just in case. Money blocks, physical health, you know, stress, losing sleep, adequate nutrition and exercise can help you out here. Be sure you're taking care of yourself, all right? You cannot pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself so that you can really take care of what your business is, what you need to be doing there. And you've got some evil eye that might be hindering you as well, that's preventing you from being able to really accomplish your goals. There's a lot of outside negativity that's coming in directed towards you. See if you can't block that out. You got to block crown chakra too. Reconnecting with your higher self is going to help you a lot. Recentering yourself in your spirituality and getting back on track with your health is going to help you kind of take your focus back and take your mind back and get control over yourself, okay? Because that's the only thing we have control over, how we think, feel, and react, right? It's Pisces. Okay. Water signs, those were your readings. Thank y'all so very much, everyone, for playing along. Your likes, your subscribes, that notification bell is going to let you know every time I'm energetically called to bring you a reading or to go live. I've been live a few times. Make sure you have that notification bell pressed. Also, be sure to check the description box. This is how you can book a personal private reading with me on my website. Also offering mentorships. Easy for me to say. My other platforms are there as well, where I'm also going live. I'll be getting back into the rhythm of posting more content, as you will notice here. I'm back. I've missed y'all. Very much grateful to each and every single one of you who have still hung on and been patient with me while I get resettled.